Good afternoon. All right. Thank you so much to everyone for coming out on this snowy, rainy day. I've been told that on your wedding day, if it rains, that's good luck. So if that's an indication, this is really good luck for the flats at Eutaw Place, right? So Mayor Pugh, Director Payne, Council President Young, Councilman Costello, Commissioner Braverman, and our distinguished guests. We really welcome you here on this day of celebration, the start of construction at the flats at Eutaw Place, which will be a new market rate apartment community here. This project represents phase 2 of the redevelopment of this site and will create a new mixed income community. First of all, I would like to thank the residents and management team of Linden Park Apartments for hosting us today. Our refreshments will be in the community room since it's a little chilly out here. Before we begin, I'd like to ask Reverend Gray Maggiano of the Memorial Episcopal Church and a board member of MAC to lead us in prayer.
Thank you, Nancy. You may be wondering why a priest is here at the groundbreaking for apartment building, not a usual thing. But it's because this began many years ago as a ministry of our church. Memorial Apartment Corporation was a ministry of Memorial Church to provide affordable senior housing for seniors, to keep them in the city and to keep them in this community here in Bolton Hill. And so we're very excited to be a part of this because it allows this building to stay here, to keep residents who've been here a long time in this community, and to keep vital members of this community here, even as we bring in new neighbors across the way. We hope they get along. I don't think it's going to be a problem. They're really nice over here. And I want to congratulate Somerset for their great work in taking on a challenging project. There's a lot easier ways to do development and to do this kind of work, and so thanks to you all for being able to take a risk to allow the residents to stay here to support this community. If you'll pray with me. The earth is God's and all that is in it, the world and all those who dwell here. The Lord your God cares for the land, and God watches over it season by season. O God of earth and sky, may you visit the land and bless it, greatly enrich it, water it abundantly, and bless its growth with your goodness. For you formed us from the dust of the ground, and you breathed into us the breath of life. Amen. Thank you all.
Mayor Pugh, we meet once again, as I said to you in the hallway. We meet once again on this site. Just a year and a half ago, we were here together. You joined us for the ribbon cutting of Linden Park Apartments, which is now this beautifully renovated, affordable housing complex for seniors that the Reverend mentioned. And that moment we anticipated this second phase, the flats at Eutaw Place, which will be a 62-unit market rate apartment building with what we hope will be a neighborhood gastro pub on the ground floor and a gathering place for our neighbors. We are so delighted that you've returned to celebrate with us on this occasion. It's a real honor. And it's a fulfillment, I think, of the neighborhood vision for a mixed income, healthy community. Thank you for your leadership and the city's willingness to work with us on this project. And thank you for making Baltimore a better place to live. So thank you, and will you say a few words?
And just a few, because I was also here as a senator when we broke ground, and I think Mayor-elect when we walked in, and now here we are again for the third phase. And Jim and Nancy, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to HUD. I was with Carolyn earlier today because we just received another $1 million to help homeless individuals with wraparound housing. So we're doing a lot of things in the city. Thank you. But I got to just tell this really quick story. Thank you, Michael. And Pastor, it is always a privilege to hear a prayer in whatever we're doing, because we need a lot of prayer, and we're grateful for prayer. So when we had just opened up the phase 1 over here, I was on my way home one day, and there was a car that had run into a pole. And so there was a little elderly woman standing on the sidewalk. And so I got out of my car, because this happened on Wabash Avenue, and I walked over to the police officer and I said, "Can I help?" He says, "She won't let me take her home." So I said, well, "Miss, can I take you home?" She said, "Yes." She says, I don't think they're going to want that car anymore." And so come to find out, she lived right here. And on my way here, I rolled down the window and I said, "Oh, meet Betty. She's 96 years old." She said, "No, 93. I said, "Okay." Well, Betty didn't want to drive up in a police car, and she didn't want anybody to know that she had a car accident. But she was very pleased with the place in which she was living. And so we know that this is a great testament for our community in terms of affordable housing, housing for the seniors, and bringing the community together. I'm so grateful to be here with Councilman Costello and with the great President of the City Council, Bernard Jack Young. Our commitment is to make sure, Mr. Braverman, who I love dearly, that we have affordable housing in our community. Our commitment is to make sure that seniors can live in our community. And because you all know that the 2 fastest growing populations in our city are 18 to 34 and 55 years of age and older. Now we're working on that 35 to 54 year age group. And just for them, we just want you all to know, $1 billion to build 28 new schools in Baltimore. We just opened up one right up the street, and we're very excited about what we're doing, because that age group really decides where they're going to live based on schools and crime. And so I have to share with you all that we are down in every single category in the city in terms of violence, down 30% in every single category in the city. We got a lot of work to do, but this kind of housing is enticing. It gets folks wanting to live in our communities, to live in our city. So I'm grateful to everyone who had anything to do with this development, and I can tell you that those who are living here, Pastor, those who are living here, not only thank you for your prayers, but are grateful to live here in this community. Carol, keep up the great work. Let's keep doing what we're doing. Let's keep pushing Baltimore forward. Thank you.
And now I would like to introduce Mrs. Carol Payne, the director of the HUD Baltimore Field Office. We appreciate the tremendous support that HUD has provided in making this project a reality. Without Wells Fargo financing through an $11.7 million loan insured by FHA, we would not be here today. And this project fulfills a vision of the HUD Choice Neighborhood Plan, which neighbors came together to discuss their future, and this is the result. So, Director Payne, thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. Oh. Okay, all right. Madam Mayor, thank you so much.
Keep bringing that money.
I will. Council President Young and Councilman Costello. Where's Michael Braverman?
He's over there.
Oh, I talked about you. Inez. Okay.
Gotta take care of Inez.
Yes. Well, I am excited to be here today because you are my neighbor. I live 3 blocks down, and so I have been aware of much of the work that's gone on this corner. Certainly the Choice neighborhoods. It was one of my first opportunities to work with trying to change what's in a community to make it better for everyone. And while we did not win, what I am appreciative of, you kept working at this site. And so we have Linden Gardens, they keep me busy. When they have an issue, they call me, and Jack heard me talk about that earlier today, the importance of the residents' voices in everything that we do. So I hope I get this right. This 221D4 project, Bob Iber would be so proud of me. So I want to just wish you all the success and congratulations. I'm waiting on the commercial things that will be on the ground floor, because that means jobs, particularly for young people. Hello, my friend. Please stand. You have just got to know the best resident services, both of you. Yes. Miss Royster will call me and say, Carol, you need to come. You just need to come by and attend a meeting. And so I am so grateful to you always. The final thing that I would say is that we are your partner. Secretary Carson brings you congratulations and greetings on your success. The mayor knows how to reach me, and of course Mike knows how to reach me. And today I found out how close I am to Council President Young reaching out to me. So I am here to serve you. That is my job, and I wish you all the success in this new endeavor. And the community thanks you. Yes. I tell you, the community that lives across the way on Eutaw, thank you, because it means we have amenities that they can enjoy as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carol. By the way, we were speaking about HUD Choice neighborhoods and the other developments in the neighborhood, and we have our friends and colleagues from community builders here, Rob Fossey and Jackie Alexander and Pat Wagner, who are redeveloping in this area, pedestal gardens, despite the fact that they weren't successful at the HUD funding, but going ahead, God willing, with all the other resources that we can all collectively put together, because they're doing God's work. And so we look forward to coordinating and collaborating with you in that effort, because we put a lot of money here. We need to put it and get the whole neighborhood catalyzed, moving west and into Baltimore. So, so thanks for coming on such a cold, snowy day. I would also like to just give a quick note of thanks to my partners Jim Campbell and Bill Whitman, who are here with me today, as well as two very important project managers on our staff, Jake Stern and John Inigonio, who are here, who have once again gone above and beyond the call of duty in getting this Eutaw Flats closed. It's never easy, right, Jake? But nonetheless, we really do appreciate it. Next on the roster here, we have the president of the Baltimore City Council, our friend Bernard Jack Young, who's been a steadfast supporter of ours and many others who seek to revitalize communities and neighborhoods like this one. We worked with you in your capacity as councilman way back when we built 32 townhomes on North Calvert Street, which someone told me this morning really sparked redevelopment in that neighborhood and along North Avenue, because we were there early on taking a risk, rolling the dice. So thank you very much for your support and your leadership on this project. We hope we will also catalyze future development, as I said, going west in West Baltimore. So Council President Young, please come to the podium.
Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone. First of all, I'm happy to be here with my partner, Mayor Catherine Pugh, also with my colleague, Councilman Eric Costello, who works very hard in this district, to Ms. Carol Payne, who has been very, very helpful to us in the city of Baltimore, not just for this project, but many other projects, to our commissioner, Michael Braveman, who I worry to death. I call him about anything that's not going right. Michael, you got to fix it. So Michael is on speed dial. So I want to thank Jim and Nancy and William as well. Somerset Development have been just a great partner to work with in the city of Baltimore, and they get it. They build it affordable. Now they're going to do the market rate, and that's what it's all about, a mixed income community where we can all work, live, and play together. So I want to be brief. I just want to thank you all for just being there for us, and we're hoping that we can help you to move further west, because we have a lot of work to do in this city. And the mayor and I, along with the council, are working very hard to make sure that we move TIFs into our neighborhoods and polys into our neighborhoods so we can redevelop our neighborhoods. So we're willing to work with you all so that we can move this city forward, so we can change that dynamic where the media consistently only talk about the bad things, but never talk about the good and positive things that's going on in the city of Baltimore. We have a lot of good things going on, and when they post something bad or say something bad, we should be on social media posting all the good things that are happening in the city of Baltimore. So again, thank you.
And now on to Eric Costello, our councilman, who has been incredibly supportive, a man who works tirelessly for the businesses in his district and his constituents, including all of the residents who live at the Professional Arts Building. I'm putting a plug in here for Professional Arts Building and Cafe Feely. Your support helped us enormously to get the approvals we needed to finance and build the flats at Eutaw Place. We plan on a new neighborhood gastro pub. The concept is still being developed, so don't get too excited. We're figuring it out on the ground floor, and we hope that this will be a great new addition to the Bolton Hill, Eutaw Place neighborhood where everyone is welcome. So, Councilman Costello.
Thanks for the kind words, Nancy. Madam Mayor, I'm in that 35 to 54 age bracket, so thank you for everything you're doing.
Just had to get that plug in there.
I did. Yes, ma'am. So the first thing I want to do is thank Mayor Pugh and Council President Young. As many of you know, we recently extended the high performance market rate tax credit, but if not for the leadership of our mayor and council president, we wouldn't have been able to do that. And I believe, a project like this, which is difficult to put everything together, and every little piece counts. Without that, this project may not be possible. So Mayor Pugh and Council President Young, thank you for your leadership on that, and continuing to push forward smart development in our city. This truly is a mixed income community here. It's been a pleasure to work with Somerset, and Somerset really puts their money where their mouth is. They took care of the stuff next door first before starting on this, and I'm tremendously appreciative of that. Representing Linden Park Apartments, 286 senior units here. I can tell you that the senior citizens that I represent are very pleased and very happy with the product that they put together. It's a high quality product, very similar to the Professional Arts Building. I actually saw Z last week, came in for lunch, which was fantastic. So I'll throw in a plug for it. If you haven't been to Cafe Feely, please stop by there. The food is absolutely awesome. And I had a meeting with our friends from the community builders beforehand, who are also working on several mixed income community approaches in the Central West and essentially Midtown catchment area, and we talked about a number of different ideas and how to continue that work. And having partners like the community builders and having partners at Somerset like Jim and Bill and Nancy really do help and really setting our city on the right course. So thank you all, especially Somerset, for everything that you're doing. I can't tell you from the bottom of my heart how much I appreciate it. And thank you, Michael Braverman, on a side note. I just wanted to say that because Michael does a ton of stuff, a lot of it behind the scenes to help move our neighborhoods forward. So thank you, Michael.
By the way, we have refreshments in the community room to the right when you go into the building, and it's provided by Cafe Feely. So we want to thank Z and Jane and Bryant who are here, and it's really good stuff. Get a sample of it and pass by later on. And one other thing, I would like to thank Natalie Jean and Andrew Zaleski for helping us put the whole thing together. Now, let's see, I would like to turn our attention on the great support that we've had from the city. In particular, I'll get down to brass tacks here, the 10-year tax abatement we received from the city under the high-performing multifamily new construction program. I'm not exactly sure that's what you call it, but it's close, right? High performance tax credit, okay. Okay, high performance tax credit, real important. We know what it means, right? Simple as it is, we couldn't have done this project without that. This project wouldn't have penciled out without it. So I hope everybody takes note of that, because we can't do that without those kinds of tax breaks. So we're very delighted to have Michael Braverman here with us, the DHCD Housing Commissioner, and we'll ask you to say a few words, Michael.
Thank you, Nancy. I guess I want to say two things to start. One, that I can't tell as good a story as the mayor, but I'm going to try this one. I generally, as Eric said, like to stay behind the scenes. I do prefer to do that. So I only called to find out what the agenda was here today, just to see, was the mayor coming? Do I have to be here? And they put me on the agenda, thinking, I was like, why aren't I on the agenda kind of thing. But I was just trying to find out what the actual agenda was. So here I am. So I don't have any prepared remarks, so I'm going to be pretty brief and say, one, Eric is definitely following in the footsteps of the council president and the mayor, calling me and emailing me at all hours of the night. I thought I'd get a minute, Mayor. I try to take Saturdays off. In fact, I was telling the mayor I was considering becoming an Orthodox Jew so that I could have Saturday off, But in any event, Eric calls me on a Saturday night. I'm just going out to dinner thinking, can I have a moment? But this is a 24-hour city. You can't, actually. And Eric is standing in front of 1411 Division Street, just a few blocks away, where the buildings are being demolished without a permit. And he's taken the time to stop and ask them what's going on, and they tell him it's a DHCD demolition. And Eric's like, I think I'm gonna check on that. And I pick up the phone, and we have an inspector out there, and we shut that job down. And if you go by there now, we've got them to put a nice fence around it, but we've got a challenge there as a result of that unpermitted activity. So thanks, Eric, for that nonstop activity. I also want to, and getting us out there on a Saturday night to stop the job. I also wanted to say, everyone in this room shares, I think, a common vision of reinvesting in our communities, and the mayor's vision of reinvesting and creating mixed income communities. So I wanted to just start by saying thank you to Somerset for beginning this project by preserving more than 250 units of affordable housing. As part of our affordable housing strategy is preserving our existing stock of affordable housing. So thank you for starting there. And thank you for taking the next step, which not only creates these new units of market rate housing, but restores the urban fabric of our community, which was destroyed at some point in time. And we will get this corner back in a way that really, meets the urban need here in this situation. And I wanted to say that it's not isolated. So Mayor, there are many, many activities, and the partners in this room are those, our for and our not-for-profit partners that are moving your agenda forward, and council presidents and Carol, yours, et cetera. And that we can look just right here where we stand. If we look over towards North Avenue, we've got that 8-acre site there that we will see new development and new investment on. If we push a little bit north to the park, we've got the sites facing Druid Park, facing the lake in Druid Park. It's an amazing site. You think in any other city, people would be gobbling it up, but we are now. And so we have, that site has already been put out. We're looking for development. We're gonna have significant investment in Druid Park itself around the lake, creating all new acreage for recreational activity. And as we swing back in this direction, I look to our friends at the Community Builders who have a great project that they're putting together on the 1800 block of Division Street. That's a block, Mayor, that you might drive by and say, Michael, why don't you take those houses down? And I will tell you, we're just waiting for the environmental clearance, and we can take those houses down and get that project going. And if we push a little bit further south to the 800 blocks of Edmondson and the 800 blocks of Harlem, which are extraordinarily blighted, thank you for the future capital budget coming in FY 19 and 20. and to our partners at the state for setting aside the resources that we need to do what we should have done a long time ago when we built Heritage Crossing, and that is take care of the extraordinary blight on the shoulders of those folks who live there. So we've got a program in place. We're looking at maybe 50 vacant buildings, and if anybody's been to the 800 block of Harlem, it's just really beautiful. So I encourage all our developers here to know that we will be looking to make subsidy available to get the outcomes that we seek, which is significant home ownership on renovating the 800 blocks of Harlem and Edmondson. So please take a close look at that. There's a lot of activity right around here. Thank you very much, and thank you for the work here.
Thank you, Michael. Mayor, council. Oh, we lost the councilman. Okay. I'm Bill Whitman. I'm a partner with Somerset, and I want to start by thanking my partners, Jim and Nancy. I couldn't ask for better partners who are so committed to the work that we do. I like to sometimes call us communities are us, and that's what we do. I just want to take 2 minutes and say thanks to a few other people who haven't been thanked yet. The Mount Royal Improvement Association, who has been tremendously supportive of all of our work here, and also the Bolton Hill Architectural Review Committee. They have been helping in many, many ways, providing us with input, helping us guide our vision. And certainly our partners at Memorial Apartments Corporation, they have been steadfast as we've worked through some tremendously complicated problems. They are actually investors in this building over here. They will be sharing in what we hope will be rewards as we move forward. Lastly, I want to thank the team at Wells Fargo, Melissa Peters, Peggy Lawrence, and Joanna Izaguirre and her closing team. At HUD, we have Yvette Jackson and her team who helped move that paperwork along efficiently, and especially Steve Sprecher, who did the yeoman's work on the project. I want to thank our partners at Marks Thomas, Tom Liebel and Andrea Drake, and I think Magda's over there, is that right? Okay. And then, of course, the construction team who are out there now, Kinsley Construction, Doug Kopp. Right here, actually. Doug Kopp, Nick Contos, Dave Watt, and Matt Power. So, and at the city, in addition to the councilmen who've been unfailingly supportive, we have David Fram, Lauren Shisick, Eric Tissot, and Penelope Whitfield. So these are the folks who move the peanuts forward day by day until eventually we get to this moment in time. Oh, and I can't forget Al Barry, who's been there helping to move. Everybody knows Al, right? I don't have to introduce that. Anyway, it takes a village to build a village, and that's what we're here for. So thank you all for coming today. Please grab some refreshments, and we'll see you at the ribbon cutting.
Wait, we're gonna